every year in the NFL, there's a team that surprises us that nobody expects to be good. Last year, that squad was the Washington Commanders. The year before that, it was the Houston Texans. This season, the New York Jets can be that team that wakes us all up after we slept on them for all this offseason. Aaron Glenn takes over as the head coach, and he inherits a team that is built to win. This is not going to be a rebuild. At least it shouldn't be a rebuild with the amount of talent that the Jets currently have. They have 6 former first-round picks across their offensive line and defensive line, respectively. They got a stacked defense. Aaron Glenn is a defensive-minded coach. And if he's able to be as good as a defensive mind, now being a head coach with the Jets as what he was calling the plays in Detroit as their DC, this should be a defense that reverts back to being a top 10 unit in the NFL as they were before they fired Robert Saleh. And offensively, although your receiver position outside of Garrett Wilson is less to be desired, what's going to make the Jets offense possibly really good this year is that you're guaranteed to have a top 10 rushing attack this year. The Jets offensive coordinator, he wants to have a physical offense. And their OC, before he went to Detroit, he spent a lot of time around Jim Harbaugh. And anytime you spend time around Jim Harbaugh, you're going to have a run-first approach. And the Jets have the NFL's most dynamic backfield going into this season. You got Justin Fields, who a few years ago ran for over 1,000 yards. When he gets the ball in the open field, he turns into a running back. He can run you over. He can make you miss with elusiveness. You got Breece Hall and Braelon Allen, a really deadly 1-2 combo at running back right behind them. So if the Jets can get the most out of Justin Fields, they don't even need him to be a capable passer for real. They just need him to stay healthy, and you can win games alone just by being able to run the football up and down the field. And we've seen teams in the past be able to win with a quarterback's athleticism. The Ravens did it with Lamar Jackson in his rookie season. The 49ers had a lot of success with Colin Kaepernick. You know, Justin Fields has shown the ability, at least based off what he did last year in Pittsburgh and his brief amount of time starting, that he can be a serviceable passer. He had a 10-to-1 touchdown-interception ratio in the few games that he started before he got replaced ultimately by Russell Wilson. And when Justin Fields is at his best is when you're not asking him to throw the football 25 times or more a game. If you can have Justin Fields throwing the ball 19, 20 times per game, that's a winning recipe for you. And with the Jets playing in the AFC East, it's no definitive that they're going to be the worst team in this division. They definitely, from a talent standpoint, are better than the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, they're trending down right now. I've seen some folks in the media still think that the Dolphins could get to 9 wins or more. That's not happening. The Jets have a better offensive line with them, especially with them investing a first-round pick into Mimbo. This is one of the better offensive lines in the NFL right now. What has held the Jets' offense back in the past has been this offensive line. They've had injuries. They also just haven't had the horses up front like what they do now. And with Justin Fields going into this situation, this is the best opportunity that he's ever going to have to finally show everybody that he can live up to that first-round billing that he had a few years ago when he got drafted by Chicago. You know, when he was down there in the Windy City, he didn't have a good offensive line. Now, the Jets are giving him that. Everything that Justin Fields hasn't had in his career, he now has in New York under Aaron Glenn. And Aaron Glenn, not just is he a really good defensive mind, but he's a player's coach. He's going to be able to motivate Justin Fields, get him believing in himself, and we possibly could see Justin Fields have a breakout campaign. If the Jets are going to go far this year, it's going to be because of Justin. But even if Justin Fields doesn't play that well, they will still be better than the Miami Dolphins because they are better up front than what the Dolphins are. The Dolphins' offensive line is in disarray. Their D-line is in disarray. They're a soft football team. The New York Jets are not. They're going to be a hardcore, physical team. And that alone is going to help them at least be third place in this division. The New England Patriots, with Mike Vrabel taking over as their head coach, I don't feel like they have a more talented roster than what the Jets have. They do have a better secondary than the Jets, but the Jets front seven, I'll take them over New England. I'll take their defensive line with Will McDonald and Quentin Williams over anybody that the New England Patriots have on their D-line. And on offense, the Patriots still are a work in progress. Their offensive line isn't as good as what the Jets is. Their receiving core isn't really that good outside of a Stephon Diggs that's coming off a season-ending ACL injury. He's getting up there in age. We don't know if he's ever going to be able to bounce back to being the same player that he was before that injury. And your offensive line, yeah, you got Will Campbell, but you still do have a few more question marks on that area. So, I don't think that it's a lock. The Jets finish as the worst team in the AFC East this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them shock us all and be the second best team in the AFC East. Are they going to be able to, dethrone the Buffalo Bills? I'm not going to take it that far, but they definitely look like a fringe playoff team to me. Right now, I could see them winning anywhere between 7 to 11 games this year, depending on how well Justin Fields plays. If you can get serviceable passing out of Justin Fields, you can be a 10-win team. But if you just get 2022 Chicago Bears Justin Fields, you probably win somewhere along the lines of 8-9 games. But this is a team that is being overly underestimated based off, the brand. When you think of the New York Jets, you think of a team that always is bad. But as I love to tell you guys all the time, history doesn't win football games. It's a new year, and every single season, we've always had a team make it to the playoffs with a first-year head coach. And the New York Jets with Aaron Glenn, they very well fit in that category. They're going to be competing with the New England Patriots as well, and you definitely have a lot more confidence in Mike Vrabel being able to get that team playing up the snuff than what you do with Aaron Glenn, just because we've seen what Mike Vrabel is capable of as a head coach based off what he did in Tennessee. But with Aaron Glenn, I don't think he's just your typical run-of-the-mill defensive-minded coach where he's all defense, doesn't really know anything about offense. He got Justin Fields for a reason. When the Chicago Bears had Justin Fields, every time they went up against the Detroit Lions, Justin Fields always had some of his best performances. And Aaron Glenn had a first-hand glimpse of what Justin Fields can be when he is putting it all together and he is playing up to his full potential. And that's the thing with Justin Fields. He's been in the league for a while, and he still is living on potential. Eventually, you're going to have to show that. But with everything that Justin Fields has around him, good offensive line, he reunites with his former college teammate and Garrett Wilson, who he had a lot of success with at Ohio State. The Jets also have a really great defense. This is a recipe to be a surprise team this year. And they don't got to put up a lot of points to win ball games. You can win with dominating time possession, with what the Jets are going to be able to do running the football. They definitely fit the mold as a team that's going to be in the top 5 when it comes to time possession. And the defense that probably is going to hold opposing offenses to probably 17 points per game. So the New York Jets, if you're sleeping on them, you better wake up before they wake you up. And I wouldn't be betting against this team. I would not be shocked if the Jets finished in second place in the AFC East. They have a more talented roster than New England. The only questions are how consistent is Justin Fields going to be and how good of a coach is Aaron Glenn. But from a talent standpoint, I think they're the second best team in the AFC East.